Welcome to Enter the Bunker, where we help you launch into thriving by building your own personal building bunker bricks. I totally messed up. With your own personal bunkers, using the building bricks we talk about each week through challenges and fun things that we do here. For example, like creativity, sacrifice, and like this week, where we are talking all about imagination.
Yes, we are.
I'm Brandon Niles. This is Kelly Cadell. Let's get into it.
Get into it.
Yeah, but before we do, if you're watching on Twitch, head to YouTube, add Into the Bunker, where we're live right now, and you can participate with us in the chat and talk all about imagination.
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
What is this?
What is it?
I don't know.
That's actually really, it looks like an old comic.
Looks like an old cartoon.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? What's the
I
cartoon
think
called?
so. I don't know.
Matthew. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
If you
no
know what
name.
this cartoon is called, let us know in the chat right now.
That's interesting though, because I mean, like, you need imagination to like create comics and stuff like that.
Big time.
'Cause it
Like
came out
yesterday
in-
we talked about Walt Disney, so I bet you maybe Walt Disney made this.
Maybe. Kind of looks like a Walt Disney creation with like the face of the guy.
It does. All right, guys. So yesterday I gave you a goal. Think about it, imagine it, make it happen. What does your life look like when you do that? We're going to be following up with you guys on Friday to see what that looked like. My goal was it's actually the same as Jonathan's. I have a lot of small tasks that I need to get done, and one is a lot of small tasks for a big project that's going on. So I want to have that done for Wednesday. I gave myself the goal on Wednesday. What was your goal?
So my goal is for Father's Day this weekend, I'm taking my dad golfing.
Yes.
It's kind of something we've been doing, like with COVID, kind of limited to what you can do outside. So that's kind of something we've been doing. So I want to improve my golf score.
Yep.
So by doing that, I've been watching like a lot of videos and like imagining myself doing those like techniques that they're teaching you.
Right, so if you imagine it every day, it's gonna happen.
Well, yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna give myself the goal, because right now there's Lotto Max, and it's at 70 million last
I know.
And I didn't get a ticket, but, because my online thing wouldn't let me, and then I called the number, and it's like, you're 9 in line, average wait time is 68 minutes. And I was imagining that I would get on within the 68 minutes or sooner. I ended up falling asleep when I was at number 2. So my imagination I wasn't in it.
Right. So I did get a ticket last night.
Did you?
I got it over the weekend. So like the whole weekend, I'm like, all right, it's imagination this week. Imagination, manifestation, sensation. It's got to happen. So I just basically thought of myself, sitting there in the morning, drinking my coffee, going through, that's a number, that's a number, that's a number, oh my God, I won 70 million. Didn't happen.
Would you still be sitting here right now if you won last night?
Yeah.
Good.
Would
you though?
If I won the lottery and went home, I'm sure my wife would make me do something. I would drive her absolutely insane.
That's great, that's great.
Destiny got a ticket too.
Yes, I was just seeing that.
Yeah.
Destiny, did you win?
Did you imagine yourself winning, Destiny?
Imagining the juicy burger I'll be biting into this Saturday barbecue at my grandparents'.
That'd be so good.
Yum.
I had burgers last night.
Did you? I had tacos for Taco Tuesday.
So imagination is obviously really important.
Yes.
Do you think we would be where we are today or even exist if it wasn't for imagination?
No.
You don't think we would
Well, I was
exist?
telling you before the live, I wish I was like a cave woman and had had like a big chicken bone that I was just like eating it off of. But then
Right.
you brought up fire. And
Yeah.
how would because I'm not eating raw meat, but I would
No.
eat cooked meat. But how did they get that fire? They must have.
Imagined it.
Yeah.
So, but like that, I read somewhere that like that's why we evolved so progressively is because we started cooking the meat.
Yep.
So then it was like less effort for us to chew the meat, and then like that effort then.
Why do you think raw meat's less chewier?
I've been told it's like.
I mean, more chewier?
I've been told it's like chewing on rubber. Oh. I don't know if that's true or not. I've never tried it, just so everybody knows. But yeah, apparently once they started cooking their food,
Yep.
it actually helped improve evolution. Supposedly.
Wonder if that's true. Albert Einstein said something.
Yes, he did. He said that you couldn't even picture. No, I'm all over the place. Sorry.
Start over. Albert Einstein once said.
Albert Einstein once said, imagination is more important than knowledge.
Imagination is more important than knowledge. What do you guys think? Do you
That's
think
right.
that's a true fact? Or quote, not fact, or fact. It could be either or. What do you think? Imagination is more important than knowledge.
I think that they kind of go hand in hand because you need imagination to be able to picture stuff, to be able to come up with inventions, but you also need the knowledge to be able to execute those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think they go hand in hand. Destiny says the same thing. I think they go hand in hand. Without imagination, you don't really ask questions.
Right. Which is the knowledge.
That's right.
I agree with that as well.
Emily says raw meat is more chewy. Apparently Emily knows.
And Emily also said, who thought to eat lobsters? Fun fact, I had lobsters on Friday and they were so good, so delicious. Okay, guys, what do you think society would look like if imagination didn't exist? What do you think, Brandon?
I think we'd still be living in caves, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't think we would be extinct. I think there'd be a few of us that'd be kicking around. Probably not the 7 billion that are on the planet right now, but I think we would probably be still like in caves eating meat, raw meat. Like
riding
Emily.
dinosaurs.
Riding dinosaurs. But no, Jonathan says imagination is more important. Otherwise, you lose the best way to gain knowledge. That's true too.
Imagination is more important, otherwise you lose the best way to gain knowledge. Confuses me a little. My confused face on.
It's too much. But obviously imagination is very important because it helps, imagination helps ignite passion. It also stimulates creativity and innovation. It helps you be more empathetic.
Yeah.
And sometimes reality just sucks.
Yep.
So when you think it ignites passion, what do you think that means?
I'm not good at explaining stuff in my head. Ignites passion. It's gonna put the knife in your butt.
That's right. It's gonna put the knife in your butt. It kind of comes back to that whole manifestation thing that you guys were talking about yesterday. But like, you know, if you just kind of think about it over and over, it kind of helps you visualize how to get to that point. So like, for example, well-known actor Jim Carrey, when he was first starting out, you know how actors have that big story like, oh, I struggled for the first little bit. Well, he did too.
Yeah.
But he wrote himself a $10 million check.
Yeah.
Obviously, he couldn't cash it at that point, but it was kind of like the whole imagination manifestation thing.
Okay.
And he kept it in his wallet, and I guess it just deteriorated over the years. And then he gave himself about 5 years to cash it.
Okay.
And then at the end of that 5 years, he got the role for Dumb and Dumber.
Ah.
Which he ended up being able to cash that $10 million check.
Yeah.
So, you know, it kind of helps you keep that goal in mind too. It keeps the passion alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps the passion alive. In here, Tim says, imagination and memory are inseparably linked in the synapses formations. Oh my gosh, Tim. In the synapses formations, psychosocial answer, I guess. Biopsych, that is.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you use big words, Tim, my imagination goes, you can pronounce this.
But yeah, no, he's definitely right though. I mean, certain things trigger memories, which is definitely your imagination acting. Kind of like you guys were talking about yesterday with the whole like songs, smells, and tastes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Somebody else said something. It was Destiny. Speaking of imagination, my 4-year-old is walking around the house with a mermaid tail blanket on her head. That's why when I think imagination, my first thought is children. I said that yesterday, and I will never not say that because they blow my mind. They're so imaginative. Imagine being an adult with that imagination.
I wonder if that's because, though, as a child, their imagination and their mind isn't corrupt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just kind of free spirit running around the house.
Your mind gets corrupt as you get older.
A mermaid blanket tied around your head, or a kid with like a cape tied to his back. He's a superhero. Like, it's actually really innocent and really cute to watch a kid's imagination just go.
I know. I love just watching them play and run around.
Yeah. Anyway, so some other things. Imagination stimulates creativity and innovation.
Stimulates it. Yeah, of course.
So without imagination, we may never have had internet, smartphones, airplanes, any invention, really.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
No.
Creativity and innovation. Innovation for sure. And creativity. I agree. Yeah.
Imagination kind of goes into most things.
It does. It really does.
Brandon's mind is definitely corrupt, Emily says. Thank you. It helps you be more empathetic.
Yes.
So in that way, it helps you visualize or puts yourself in that person's shoes. So like if they're going through a hard time, instead of just being like, I feel for you, like you actually envisioning that happening onto yourself.
Yeah.
When was the last time you experienced empathy?
This morning.
With what?
With you, something to do with you actually. So there was a trick that was played on Brandon this morning, and I actually felt bad that you were going to be worried. But now I'm curious, where did your imagination take you when all that was happening? And so the trick was Emily didn't show up to the carpool spot, and so she wasn't here. She's out, but she's actually working from home. But they were telling Brandon. So where did your imagination take you when you thought, oh my gosh, she's not here?
Well, I did hear yesterday that she was working from home, so I wasn't surprised that she wasn't here.
Right.
But I thought it was weird that she wasn't messaging.
Right. And then all of us I came in your office and I was like, have you guys talked to Emily?
And I was like, did something happen? Like, because for her to not message at like 7 o'clock in the morning, there's probably something wrong. So I was concerned. But then I found out that it was all a joke and you guys are mean.
And then he tried to play the joke on us and I was like, yeah, anyways.
No one listened. I listened to you, Emily. You said you were working from home yesterday. I listened.
Yeah.
Destiny also says, absolutely, boredom is the ignition for imagination a lot of the time.
Yeah. Because when you're bored, you're usually, something's on your mind.
Your mind just wanders.
Oh yeah, definitely. Do you ever have a time where you're not thinking about something?
I feel like as men, we all do. We just sit there blank.
Oh my gosh, I wish my brain could sit there blank sometimes, but it never does.
A time where I'm just sitting there and I don't imagine anything.
Well, you
I
think
don't think so.
Tim said something interesting.
Sure.
When you think that you're zoning out, not thinking, your brain is actually very active, apparently. I think this is part of the imagination formations as our dreams.
Yeah, definitely. For myself, when I'm zoning out,
Yeah.
I think it's more of like, my mind puts me somewhere else.
Yeah.
So like in that imagination reality where like I'm imagining, I don't even know, eating supper or something. So I'm a pretty simple guy. Food makes me happy. But that a lot of times I think that's what it is just your imagination when you're zoning out just puts you somewhere else.
Emily, I'm always thinking it never blanks. Meditation is impossible for me.
Definitely.
Me too, girl.
Definitely.
I think the time my brain wanders probably the most, where I've caught myself thinking about stuff I didn't even know I was thinking about, is in the shower.
Right.
I don't know, just wanders away.
So another thing too with imagination and
Yeah.
the whole zoning out, putting yourself in a different spot is
Yeah.
sometimes reality just sucks.
Yeah.
Like something happens where like, for example, for myself, and if you guys have ever had a situation where you've had to just kind of take yourself out of reality for a minute, I know that sounds terrible, but like just remove yourself from the situation, just let your mind wander, let us know. But for myself, as a kid, I was picked on quite a bit, I was bullied a little bit, and so I would watch a lot of Batman, like the
Okay.
animated series, and
Yeah.
that was like my escape from reality, and I ended up like, it really resonated with me, and like I became obsessed with it even after I was not being picked on anymore, and I got like a tattoo of Batman on my arm and everything.
Did you?
Yeah, and a lot of people are like, why do you have Batman tattooed to your arm? So I just don't want to get into it. But that for me, that was my escape, was watching Batman.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Destiny says, I was just going to say showers, and Emily's like, yeah, shower brainstorms.
Yeah,
Destiny
definitely.
also said, I wonder if the water has something to do with that, like activating a sense.
Just like massages you or something.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's using your imagination wondering that.
Definitely.
Definitely.
But has there ever been a time where you had to let imagination take over reality a little bit? Just like it sucked.
Imagination take over reality.
Yeah, like whether you would go read a comic or you would go watch a TV show and just like put yourself in that show. Like, you know what I mean?
No.
Okay.
Do you guys? Nobody means? I'm confused.
Emily says, I think it's a mild distraction, so you feel like you are thinking about something, but nothing heavy. Definitely.
Have you ever thought about something but didn't mean to be thinking about it?
All the time.
Yeah, but like weird stuff.
But like, I think that's what happens,
Like-
insomnia. I think that happens to a lot of people during insomnia. Like not being able to sleep, you just kind of sit there and your brain's just like, well, let's think about this. Let's think about that. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to think about that. I want to go to sleep.
Exactly.
But yeah, that happens to me all the time.
Excuse me.
Emily says, I used to read fantasy books.
Huh. I don't know what I did. Oh my gosh, my mic's hanging down. How's the voice been?
Emily says, insomnia is a bee.
As a bee. Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely. So like for yourself,
Yeah.
did you ever play outside?
Yes.
Like as a kid?
Yeah.
Were you ever playing like,
We played a lot of, with my whole neighborhood, we played a lot of hide and go seek tag.
right,
Yeah. What were you going to say?
let's just say something like that. Hide, go seek tag, or like you play some sort of like, I don't know, as a kid, your imagination, you play like all these silly games or something like that.
Chalk drawing.
Yeah,
Because then your
that's
imagination just takes you to whatever you draw.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Destiny says, I love playing Dungeons and Dragons as a way to flex my imagination. I've played Dungeons and Dragons once. It's very addictive.
D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very addictive.
Jonathan,
Oh,
read
go ahead.
Jonathan's here.
Jonathan. Alfred Pennyworth. You're winning my heart, Jonathan.
Keep going.
Why do we fall, sir? So we can learn to pick ourselves up again. Batman Begins.
Do you remember that quote?
I can see that scene.
Shush up, really?
Yeah. You don't know how much Batman I've watched in my life. But yeah, definitely, 100%. Emily, we used to build entire worlds. Legos.
Yes, Legos. That is, I'm pretty sure Lego even used imagination as part of their like marketing approach.
Oh,
of
probably.
I remember kind of like a commercial. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Was it recently? I think I know what one you're talking about. There was like a commercial of like kids being like these actual like fighter pilots or whatever, like, and playing.
Was it a song that it was playing in the background then?
Could have been.
Yeah, I don't know, but that definitely.
But, like, Legos is one. My dad used to play softball a lot,
Okay.
and I was little, so I would take my dinkies and I'd go play in the dirt. with
Dinkies,
so, like,
yes,
dinky
and build
cars.
like,
the old like dinky mats and stuff.
yeah. Or you could build like a track in the dirt for your dinkies. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
So another form of kids, just imagination, just going. But yeah, so let us know if there was ever a time when you had to escape from reality or use imagination just to kind of remove yourself from the situation. Kelly imagined milking a cow not that long ago. How did that imagination go?
I'm wondering, how did I even think of that? Milking a cow. Elaborate on that, Emily. I forget.
I think we were talking about video games.
Oh yeah, we were talking about video games, and I wanted a game I could milk a cow in. Pretty sure you can do that on Sims now, Sims 4,
Oh, probably.
with
Do
the
anything in
expansion
Sims.
pack or something.
And that's another form of imagination, using Sims to build a whole other world for yourself.
Yeah, we actually built a bunker before and like decorated the inside of the bunker, and I put a pool on mine.
Put a pool in the bunker?
Yeah.
Can we put a pool in this bunker?
Yeah, there is one.
You'll have to show me. But yeah, so that's everything for today. So please message us on Instagram. We have lots of awesome stories there. And we want to know, has there ever been a time where you've had to use imagination to remove yourself from that situation where, you know, something bad was happening or anything? Like Kelly is pretending to run with this figure back here.
I'm trying to act with them, yeah.
Yeah, so add it to the bunker for all of that stuff. Thank you for tuning in. It's been great.
Thanks, guys. We shall see you on Friday, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Don't be scared of imagination.
Get to it.